Welcome back to Azran Legacy. So, let's look at the story so far. So, after collecting all 5 eggs, Layton and the others discover that one of them has been stolen and replaced with a fake. The Azran Dome points our heroes to the nest, where the Targent HQ is located. That's where they must head next. Alright. Let's throw ourselves into the wolf's den.
I mean, we don't really have much of a choice.
Don't worry, guys.
At the very least, I hope that Targent headquarters has what all villain labs must have.
Go ahead, Shiroi.
Coffee making machine.
Here, you're not thinking of trying to steal Ermit away from me, are you? So I have a rival in love, do I?
Mary, do you just assume every girl that comes into your line of sight is an automatic rival?
Well, he is the only boy. What else am I supposed to think?
Well, actually, actually, Mary, there is another boy in here.
Better question: are there any other preteen girls
There are other girls here, yes.
I mean,
that we have seen?
Oh, that we've seen. I guess.
In love? Oh no, I wouldn't dream of it.
I'm incapable of love. I want a heart.
Count this as foreshadowing, Joe.
Are you sure? Maybe you just need a bit of practice to become a world-class love thief.
Wait, are you encouraging her to become your rival now?
Maybe she's bored here and
Your
there's some excitement.
grandma told you only about the story of the city and not actual banners, didn't she?
And there's a
How did this lead into a puzzle?
Puzzle 141. Fake as Thieves 2.
Sure, why not?
These 3 brothers turned to a life of crime a long time ago and have been doing it so long they've perfected all techniques. Their most successful method involves 2 of the brothers dropping stolen goods down from above, while the third brother handles their cart. While the third brother handles their cart, in order to keep the cart balanced, however, the weight must be distributed evenly in the space of a square. Can you help the brothers get away with another big haul? What this basically turns out to, it's a very weird game of Tetris. That's basically what this is.
I was instead reminded, wasn't that one of the Game & Watch games that also has this kind of mechanic, like a person dropping like an object from high and needs to land on a platform?
Yes, but this one mixes that with Tetris. Use the stylus to slide the robber's cart left and right. Touch the icon on the right side of the touch screen to drop an item from above. All items rotate 180 degrees. The thought bubble on the top screen shows the order of the robbers who will throw the stolen goods in, going from left to right. Move the cart around and ensure the pieces fall into a tidy square, with no awkward pieces sticking out.
Seems like a fusion of Tetris and Breakout.
Well, Breakout would involve, bouncing back stuff to break the blocks on top.
Well, hence why I said it's a combination. It's got the falling mechanic of Tetris, but it has the moving platform element from Breakout. The one that you just move from side to side.
I was about to ask, but I noticed, you still have the undo button, so even if you fuck up, you can, revert to the previous move.
Indeed, but the basic idea is that you have to also drive the cart back from left to right so you can make sure that the pieces fall exactly where you want them to. Basically, you have to try your best to get all the pieces in without, going overboard.
Also, some of these crates are quite damaged.
Throwing them like that probably did not help.
Is this FedEx?
Bazinga. They are like that already the moment that they pick them up, Jova, so I don't know.
So FedEx is run by criminals, Shiroi.
Poor Tom Hanks.
Alright,
it's better than that. It's better than North when Bruce Willis was working with it.
Yeah, most of these pieces literally look like Tetris pieces. They're like, hell, even in the thought balloon, they're all divided like Tetris pieces.
Some of them do have significant differences, like the yellow one that looks like a tuning fork.
I think that's also a Tetris piece you see, or at the
I
very least
noticed one in the description. I don't know if it will ever show up, but it's one that's a bit more complex. Again, maybe it was just for demonstration there.
Okay.
It's interesting because, again, for this one you had to think not as much as how the piece is, presented, but the fact that he will land in a different position potentially.
Essentially the reverse of how it looks.
Alright, almost done.
There.
Now we just have to make sure we move this to the correct spot.
Bit on the right.
Alright, this should do. Alright, thinking, yeah, okay. There we are.
go.
Here is my answer.
I see your spirits and
enjoyed
prayers
that.
have guided you to the right answer, my child.
What a getaway. The brothers' method certainly is an effective one. Let's just hope they haven't stolen anything fragile.
About that. Turns
You
out one
mean
of
they
those.
were all labeled fragile?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You did it? And it's settled. You, madame, are set to become one notorious love thief. Well done, you.
I don't understand your motivations, Marie.
I'm bored.
Mary, remember, Mary already admitted that she's a big romantic at heart. She sees love. She's got love on the brain all the time. Go on.
I'm still not entirely sure what that means, but thank you.
Oh dear. You be careful or you might get snatched up into a love triangle.
Aurora, you barely know what anything means, aside from Azran stuff.
Well, that's kind of unavoidable.
That's all I need to know.
Well, that's kind of unavoidable considering, you know, she's
What
only.
about breathing? Do you know what that means?
We'll get back to that on you.
Anyways.
Go ahead.
That airy charm of yours might make all the boys swoon, but you don't get Hermit that way, mark my words.
Yeah, she actually is right, because as we're going to learn later through solving her dress request, Yuma is actually into her as well. So.
Good for her.
Or rather, it's implied, if I'm going to be totally honest, it's implied, but, you know. So, hoist anchor, Shiroi, this ship is gonna set sail.
Get hyped, yo.
Alright, so with that done... Alright, let's go back to London!
London!
Yeah, I left my phone charger there.
Alright, so let's see what's changed in London.
It turns out it's been
Oh,
28 days later.
Hey Brenda,
Oh,
what brings you here?
puzzle apparently.
Look, Shiroi?
Brenda, again.
I'm sure that was Shiroi.
I didn't know you were in London. Come and join me on the grass. Now, how about a nice cup of tea?
Brenda,
Of course,
what was with
it's
that?
tea.
Brenda, what was with that awkward silence for a second there?
I didn't know this was my line. It's been a while.
You've rehearsed this.
It's been a while, okay?
But you don't know your lines before you.
Oh,
came.
now who's doing the awkward silence?
Oh, yes, please, Mum. There's always time for a cup of tea.
There's always time for a cup of tea. Go on.
I've got some tea from that I've got some lovely tea from that fancy tea emporium. Help me get it out.
Which
Oh,
tea emporium are
only
you
the
referring
best.
to?
How am I
On the
supposed...
street.
What are you Londoners doing? Are you drinking tea? How am I supposed to get my job done if you're all having tea?
I'm pretty sure there's a license for that.
Alright, puzzle number 129. Tough to reach
Actu-
tea.
Alright. Luke's mom has just...
Luke's mum.
Go ahead.
Luke's mum has just splurged some fancy tea from the tea emporium and wants to try some. She's asked Luke to finish the stripy blue tin, which of course is right at the bottom of the bag. There does seem to be a bit of space in the bag, and Luke thinks he can get the stripy blue tin out without removing any of the others. So rather than just empty it out and find it on the ground, see if you can help find him.
I'm turning it into a puzzle to make it fun, than making a mundane task fun.
Exactly.
That means there's less time for me drinking tea.
This is one of those Layton puzzles that I always save for later, like specifically when I'm waiting at a doctor or something like that, because these puzzles are very time consuming and they're perfect for killing time. Like this is what I like to call a time-killing puzzle. Like when you really need something to just kill time and keep yourself busy while you wait for something. These kinds of puzzles are perfect for that.
Well, if it's all the same to you, Professor, I only invited Luke to have tea with me.
That is true.
Fine. That's fine. I brought my own tea anyway.
It's a nice mother-son bonding tea moment.
Statement doesn't have either of them on the screen for this one.
Again, I brought my own tea anyway. I got it in the
It's
flask.
again.
Well, remember, that's-
common thing.
well,
Only a few selected story puzzles do involve the actual characters on the top screen. Otherwise, we're just these.
I mean, it's been a constant. Well, it's been a constant thing throughout the entire game. The puzzles have their own cast of characters.
Like, I
mean,
get
the
what Jova means in a sense, but when some puzzles are more specifically about some characters, maybe they should be more involved, but I'm fine with that.
It's like, with the crossover, when they specifically had puzzles pertaining to the characters, they usually worked the characters into it.
That was probably Shutakumi's decision.
I do wonder also how much of Akira Tago's decisions might be tied to that. Like,
Well, remember too, Akira Tago didn't work on the crossover.
well, that's exactly my point, Pedro. Like, maybe his style was specifically to involve Randy's, and one of the things that he did as level 5 is to, to minimize the presence, of the story characters, instead have, random people for the sake of, the player, or maybe the player enjoyment. Again, I'm just theorizing, and because it didn't work on the crossover, instead, that one involves more directly the characters more than often.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I'm just spitballing, but...
Indeed. Again, you already know how this works. We've been doing these puzzles since Kira's village, so...
Although this one is a bit more complex because the shapes are all identical. Some are just rearranged vertically instead of horizontally, but otherwise they are basically the same, so you have to work with limited tools.
Oh, trust me, like, puzzle, one of the final puzzles of the game that you do in the bonus section, it's a far bigger and way harder version of this involving, a puzzle like this involving chairs, and it takes quite a while for you to get that puzzle done. Okay, so basically the idea is we have to fish out the stripy blue tea in the tea tin, so let's try to get it out of there. Man, getting tea out of a fucking suitcase is difficult. I don't know how you Brits do this.
Yeah, how do people in the UK manage to go around even just for the simple task of getting tea? They need to perform this.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of hassle. Alright, what next? Have you ever had a situation like this, Twibs?
What? Try wasting time trying to find tea?
Yes.
Come on, caché.
No.
Really?
Frankly, I'm also reminded of the I forgot what's the
To
name.
follow up on that 101 Dalmatians 2 joke that I made earlier, did you see it, Jova? I get the feeling this is why that poor dog has so much problem with people not being around to see him, like, because they're busy doing this. The mystery is solved.
I would have made the tea by now.
But Shira, you have to first get the tea out of here.
I'm pretty sure you spend less time and try to actually buying some new one from the store.
Look, it's supposed to be a bag of tea, not the Ark of the Covenant. It should not take you this long.
So this is why you organize your tea cupboard.
Kids, do you want to hear me read you a story while we wait?
No.
No.
Yes.
You already had your story time episode in the Ni no Kuni 1 run.
I might fancy
too
a
bad.
story.
Layton
Sure,
becomes a
I'll,
storytime YouTuber.
Oh,
Sure,
no.
I'll read you. Sure.
Yes.
It's not a book. It's not a book exactly, but I'll make up a story.
Wait.
This is the tale of Professor Layton and Luke Triton. One day, Luke was bored of his life and went out to go with Professor Layton and some person, I don't know. And they had merry adventures until one day, when Layton got so bored waiting to get tea out of the bag, he left and made his own. The end.
It's not quite as crazy as the stories on My Story Animated, but
That would be interesting.
Alright, you're almost there.
You know what's fun? You know what's funny about that, Jova? Like recently, they made a partnership story video with Genshin Impact, and I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. The characters are constantly talking about how awesome Genshin Impact is. They don't even try to make it somewhat subtle. No, they like it's such a blatant commercial that it's.
So, well,
Perfect
does it at least have some self-aware irony, like the cup noodle side quest in Final Fantasy XIV?
Not really, too. Not really.
Okay, then.
It's time for tea. You did well to get that tin out. The key is to look at the bigger picture, moving everything around to create space as necessary.
Because everything...
Alright, Luke, it's time to make something... Hey,
Also,
where did
she's
everybody
spinning.
go?
Oh dear,
Look at her go.
this was not the flavor I asked for. Could you
Tough to reach
do that
tea.
again?
Go ahead, Shirai.
Well done, dear. Here you go, then. Be sure to let it brew a bit.
This better be the best tea that has ever been drank by humankind.
6.3 out of 10. Too much sugar.
Too much water.
Too much water in my leaf juice.
Alright,
I only take my tea in solid blocks, thank you very much.
go ahead.
It's like Shadow the Hedgehog.
Go ahead,
Just shove
go ahead,
the
Shirai.
leaves in your mouth. There's nothing like a nice cup of tea by the aerodrome on a sunny afternoon.
You're here for it,
Be
folks.
specific.
A cup of tea on the aerodrome on a sunny morning.
I'm pretty sure the currents of air will spill that everywhere.
Again, how very specific of you, Mum.
Yeah. Mom
Am I
here.
not allowed to have any interests?
Yeah, Mom has a very specific taste when it comes to drinking her tea. Okay.
Oh, of course you're allowed to.
Alright, let's
Alright.
go to the nest.
To the nest.
My mother refuses to drink tea unless she's unwell.
Huh.
Oh, Brit who doesn't like tea.
That's like that kid in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Other Bridge movie that doesn't like card games. Go on.
It's too quiet here. This is most unsettling.
I can't see a single soul outside. I was sure they'd be waiting for us with weapons in hand.
Of course, like any villain fortress, there is a crackling boom of
I was
thunder
gonna
and lightning
Some
in the
lightning
distance.
back there.
Just missing the toccata and fugue from Bach in the background.
Maybe we're still in London and didn't actually
Well,
take
Shirai.
the right way.
Well, sure. What's the fun of having an evil fortress if you're not gonna have constant lightning in the background to it? I mean, that's
Something is not right. Why did they let us land here without trouble?
Yes, I'll take Trap for 500, Alex.
Go ahead, Jova. Yeah, you just said that.
Who's
No
Alex?
doubt that Bronev is expecting us. A good man. The
These
sadly
are
now
stages
deceased
following
host of
the
Jeopardy.
Well, our version's getting Stephen Fry as the host, so...
I'm afraid so. I wish they'd just come out now and be done with it.
Maybe Bronov actually wants to talk to us.
Ah, yes, bro. Yes,
Fair
bro.
and all
Okay,
that.
okay, Mr. Layton. I just want to talk here. Let's discuss the topic of the
Turn
Azran
on your
eggs.
location.
I'm sure we can come to a mutual agreement that satisfies both parties.
Such arrogance. Very well, Bronov. If you wish to play games with us, be prepared to lose. You brought the guns, right?
You sound like you don't particularly care for Bronov, Mr. Sycamore.
To be fair,
Well,
he showed
he's
up
been
in-
a constant
he showed up
hobbling
in
to
the,
our
in
expedition.
the cave to snatch, Aurora, while she was still
And-
cryostasis. So.
Let's
and
march
keep in mi-
straight into their base then. They practically invited us after all.
I
And keep
mean,
in mind, he incurred damage upon my airship while shooting at us.
That is
and
true.
They sent those two Targent buffoons
And like
on
to-
our tail.
and like Teo said earlier, it's not like we have much of a choice. We have to get that egg back. Alright.
What a lovely place.
Again,
Again, Teo, what would be the fun of having an evil fortress if you're not gonna have it be, full of lightning and shit?
So this is the nest.
Yes,
So
Luke,
the ne-
yes, composer. I know it's very moody, but
so Targent essentially made their own
it's
city.
missing the rain, though. Like you can't have a saxophone and a city in the night without the rain. Come on.
I'm guessing.
Going to the north.
I'm guessing the art director thought it was too obvious. I don't know.
So this is where the symbols of the Azran dome directed us. The nest.
I feel the power of the Aura Stone within. I'm sure of it.
All right.
So again,
You were fooled earlier with aura stones, so...
I have to
It's
wonder.
not like
so,
you can find them. Keep your mouth shut.
So I have to wonder: is this whole city created by Targent, or is this a city that they took over, or is the nest like within the city?
We are about to head deep into enemy territory. I can't say what might happen. Are you ready, young
The game will not clarify that, Java, but I've always imagined that it's probably some kind of island akin to that Kaiba Corp island where we have the Battle City finals.
Maybe.
Don't worry, I'm here to protect you. I won't let Targent hurt anyone.
All right then. Okay,
But what if they hurt you?
we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Go on.
We're lucky to have you by our side, Eddie. Well then, let's track down that last egg.
All right.
It'll be a rip-roaring good time, won't it?
All right.
Yes.
Oh,
What?
Oh,
What the? Sir, are
What
we
was
already
that?
being shot at?
it came from over there.
I guess we're not anymore in the UK then.
yes.
We should investigate. Quickly!
It
Yes,
sounded
let's
like
run
the second.
towards the gunshot.
It sounded like the Second Amendment at work.
Disgusting.
All right, let's go into the tunnel. Oh, Mr. McIntosh.
Hello?
What are you
Ew.
doing? What are you doing here?
See the one shot?
Come on, Mac. You have to keep going.
You know, it would be funny if they literally did build an entire city on the island.
Okay, there he is. Terry, you can be this guy. Go on.
Don't run and get away. He's not to leave this city.
Crap, these guys actually look
What?
competent.
Where is your neck, sir?
Professor, wasn't that Mr. McIntosh? Does this mean the Apple line will finally be dead?
Jesus.
It looks as though he has targeted his heels.
What is he doing here? He doesn't have a PC to compare himself to. I thought he was investigating Azran ruins.
Well, a lot of people say things they don't mean. Perhaps it was Targent's doing.
Then we have to help him.
Yes, of course. We're back towards the landing strip, I think.
All right.
So, right back to where we came from.
Also, there's another cat.
Oh, no, that's a dog.
Oh, okay then.
All right. That doesn't seem...
Also, we had already a sneak peek of one of these agents back in the Fanga village. What are
Yep.
you not loitering around here for? Get out of the way. Wow, you're not even recognizing that. Where did the little one go? He's going to be a mortal pain when I found him.
They're looking for
That's because he was
McIntosh.
a native of the fungi village.
Go ahead.
I don't think they're paying much attention to us.
Then let us keep it that way. If we remain discreet, we'll have a much better chance of getting to Mr. McIntosh before they do.
They really
I'm
hire
not gonna
really
lie,
everyone.
this is a lot easier than I thought it would be.
Seems a bit too easy. It's as though he didn't exist.
Try poking one of them in the eye.
In the water.
Trying to see if I can find some hint coins. A plastic
A
canister.
gasoline can.
Ooh, a hint coin in the
Perfect
switch.
for-
Yeah,
That's...
A puzzle.
Nope. Phew. I can't let them find me.
Professor, McIntosh has just gone into that big Targent airship.
He did not look well.
You don't
Wow.
say.
No, I'm afraid he's been injured. We must get to him before Targent.
Indeed.
Going off of the music, it does sound like they're going for a big city, New York,
yeah,
Chicago,
they
or
replaced
Jersey vibe.
they replaced the accordion with the saxophone. Maybe it's
Mhm.
intentional.
It's so dark.
I can hardly see a thing. I guess if New World of Steam has more music akin to this, maybe.
No one is here. I do not sense anyone else.
If the man is intending to flee the nest in this airship, he'll have headed to the breach.
Well, Jova,
Hopefully he doesn't fly while we're here.
the track that plays in both New World of Steam tracks so far has the accordion, so we'll have to wait and see if that is indeed the case.
Well, that's what I
Also-
mean. Like, well, later when we get to,
Layton
actually
Roberts
see the
himself
soundtrack and
because of
full.
a different composer, if I'm not correct.
Yuzo Koshiro,
Jazz.
yep.
Yeah, more of a jazz, yeah, beat tune.
Indeed. Alright.
Puzzling the door. Ah, because this is a lock.
It's locked. We can't get stuck here.
Well, obviously my
Can't you kick the door down?
If only we had an attorney to body check the door.
Go ahead.
Fear Macintosh has locked all the doors behind him to slow down his pursuers.
That makes sense, to be fair.
Okay, that's smart on his end.
But we have to get to him. Come on, there must be a way to open it.
There's got to be a better way.
Sacrifice your hand or something?
No, the disease is not sword whips.
Thank God.
Alright. Puzzle number 115. Dial Trial 2. Which is, of course, the same puzzle we had before. The cargo hold door is locked again, and it looks as though Targent have upgraded the control mechanism. Fucking Targent. The dials are separated into quadrants, and the circle and whatever symbols contained in each quadrant have a value of 1 and 5 respectively. To open the door, you need to align the dials so that the total value of every quadrant is the same. Spin those dials and help Emmy open the door.
I think the English term, Pedro, is diamond, but I get
Yeah, Diamond, that's it, Diamond.
We
Yeah.
have a problem because my country also has its own term for
Same.
that shape.
Yep.
Really?
Losango.
Rombo.
Yep.
Interesting names.
Different languages are a thing. That's the lesson for today, ladies and gentlemen.
Next week, people use
Oh, I can
different
tell you
currency.
that when it comes to the identical symbol for the French, card games, the classic one with hearts, spades, and everything, that symbol for some reason in my country is called square, which is not technically wrong because it's a four-edge figure, but not technically a square.
Well,
Diamond Enix doesn't have the same ring.
indeed. Well, Taylor, it's kind of like the same way that there are multiple different variations of triangles. I'm guessing that's the idea.
That sure, but my basics in geometry that I remember from school is the fact that the more edges, the more edges are present in a figure, the more variations with different names can there be.
Indeed.
Like a trapeze, for example. I think that should do it. Yeah. No, actually, yeah, I think this should.
I mean,
Why did the Targent agent cross the road?
To get to the other side to arrest someone?
No, to ensure they weren't executed for treason.
I mean, I guess.
Laugh!
Sorry, Dick. I'm afraid stand-up isn't your thing.
Professor, you need to do like that politician.
Oh, that's
Please
good.
laugh. Please clap.
I prefer sitting down myself. Yeah, the professor's jokes aren't really...
You've certainly got this puzzle's number. The symbols in each of the 4 quadrants should have a total value of 19. So much for Targent security.
They
They
tried.
should just...
And there you go, we got the dazzling ballet slippers.
From that?
Yes.
What are Targent even up to? Ballet?
Yes, Professor, it's open.
Excellent work, Emmy. Now let's press on.
I wonder which Targent agent does the ballet.
Oh, hey, Rook.
Oh, it's you.
Oh dear. Is that...
What are you doing here?
We could ask you the same thing.
This is a Targent airship, and I'm a Targent agent. It's not at all unusual that I am here.
You're not a very good one, though.
Don't even think about going through there. This guy is mine. I had to get to him before the others do.
To make up for all your failures across the world.
I mean, exactly.
Basically, yeah.
Oh no! He's got a puzzle and not a gun!
116 funky hooks too. So basically,
This is how we do it in the UK, maybe. I don't know where we are at this point.
Yeah, this is of course a harder version of the previous puzzle we did with Rook the last time. So we already know how this works. So let's get to it. Again, this is you can basically kind of brute force your way through this because thanks to the undo button, you can very easily just keep trying and trying.
Just like with Sand Fortress.
Hold on. Whoop. Okay.
Ow! Yeah, you probably want to go back and take the right there.
All right, I guess we'll have to go around it. There we go.
My head.
You know, I think this may be it. Puzzle solving is a most gentlemanly pursuit.
Nicely dodged. Once again, you've got Layton across safe and sound. Onwards.
I ain't paid too much for this shit. Oh, come on! Do you know how long it took for me to set those up?
Why did you waste time setting that up? Dude, gun, bullet, head.
We need to talk to him. Step aside, or there will be trouble.
Yeah.
Watch out, Layton's bodyguard has got your number.
No chance. The archaeologist is my prize. Capturing him should net me a nice fat reward from the boss. Wow, he's really not paid enough for this.
I'll say.
Now, let us stay calm. Stand down, Emmy.
No, I don't care who I'm up against. I'm your assistant, and I will protect you, Professor.
You'll be a dead assistant if you don't listen to me.
Maybe that's why she's not in the original trilogy.
Moving on.
Wait, no one mentioned me dying in the script.
Well, you're not in the original trilogy,
Dick Layton was already was thinking of that, but fortunately he didn't.
He mentioned at the very beginning of the game.
Please, Emmy, hear me out.
Alright, let's all calm down and hear Professor Layton's solution.
If you say another puzzle.
If this agent wanted to collect a nice fat reward, as he put it, he would not be standing here arguing with us.
True.
That's a good point.
He would have caught his quarry straight away and gone back to his superiors without a look in our direction.
That is
or
true.
He's just stupid, I don't know. Why didn't he? Could it be that he is having second thoughts about his involvement in Targent?
I mean, have you seen how his career's been going?
That's ridiculous. That's some mental gymnastics there.
Is it, sir? Well then tell me why you carry no weapon.
There you go, Jova.
A gun is standard issue for a Targent field operative.
If he gives us another puzzle, I'm ending this man's life immediately.
Come, Emmy. I believe Macintosh will have gone this way.
Looks like Rook is...
literally bullied someone into
So yeah,
submission.
looks like Rook is having second thoughts about Targent.
He no-viewed him.
Talk about a lucky guess. For all we know, he was just not able to open the door.
Mr. Macintosh!
What are you doing here? Am I dreaming?
No,
Yes,
just
we're
almost
all
dead.
figments of your imagination, ready to lead you off to heaven.
You are not dreaming, Macintosh. Please, come to your senses.
It's too late. I was going to hijack this ship. Laughable, hey?
Don't talk. You need to conserve your strength.
And the blood.
You have to get away from here. Even if they promised you could study the Azran, Don't do it. Leave. Hold on. Bronev uses armed henchmen to control the researchers. He's a snake, twists words, makes us into criminals.
Wait a minute.
That was something we already knew.
Please, Macintosh, you must be still. You are injured.
Listen, please. Everyone wants. We all just wanted to be free to do our research without threats or constraints. That's the thing that he fools researchers into thinking they're just going to do research and basically forces them to do criminal acts. That's the thing. If Targent can go back to what it should be, maybe our wish will come true. Oh, so Targent wasn't always like this. So Targent wasn't always like this. Not just that, Targent apparently wasn't always like this.
Mr. Macintosh!
He just heckin' died.
Let's carry him to the Bostonius. Quickly now, he needs urgent medical attention. Read the dates on his death. I mean, possibly resuscitate him.
Yes, there is no time to lose.
There is no time.
No time to waste.
Yeah.
Oh no!
And Luke got the joke, so he's like, oh no.
So second mystery
Alright.
solved.
No, not solved. The Targent will go to any lengths to get their hands on Azran artifacts. It seems they were once mainly a research organization, but Bronev's ruthless ambition has led them to relentlessly increasing their military power.
Bronev seems to be using Targent to fulfill his own ambition.
No duh. But yeah, no, like Pedro mentioned, pointing out, not only is Macintosh surprisingly a Targent agent, but it seems that Targent wasn't always this bad.
How is he, Raymond?
Stable. I've cleaned the wound and patched him up. Though he has lost some blood, his injuries are not life-threatening. Alright, that's good to know.
I think losing his blood is a bit life-threatening. Thank goodness, it's a great relief. In that case, can we leave him in your care?
Of course, Professor. Please, go ahead and pursue your purpose here. I will look after the patient.
Kill the cat that's just chomping on his body.
Making
Hey,
biscuits.
it's pet therapy.
Professor, did you hear what Mr. Macintosh said earlier?
Yes, we did.
What do you mean?
He said something about Targent going back to what it should be.
Okay.
I'm not saying it.
Well, this is mere conjecture, but I suppose Targent may not have always have been the criminal organization it is today.
They were on a tangent.
If I may interject, it's possible that a good man imbued with a strong sense of purpose may, though his cause may be true, be pushed to recklessness. That's foreshadowing, by the way.
Speaking from experience, Raymond, Jesus, his eyes...
Actually, yes, as you're going to learn later, yes, he does speak from experience. A good man imbued with a strong sense of purpose may, though his cause may be true, be pushed to reckless ends. Obsession, ladies and gentlemen. Following his vision to the exclusion of all else, he sees only his goal, not what it costs. It is a form of madness. Yep. Basically.
So basically the plot of hunt down the Freeman.
Yeah?
Well, obsession manifests itself in many forms, but yes, that is one of them. Now, if such a visionary were to head a large and powerful organization, the very nature of that organization might become warped. Yep, makes sense.
There are so many topical jokes to be made about this, but...
So, go ahead.
So what you're saying is that Targent was made into what it is today by the ambition of its leader, Bronev.
Indeed.
Started in a weird crap deal and then suddenly started
Or
making
perhaps,
decisions.
or perhaps these are only the ramblings of an old man. No.
You can't fool me after that 1,000-yard stare you were giving, Grandpa.
I
Can
see.
just shrug away.
I will keep your words in mind.
Look at that, even Layton ain't buying it.
If Targent is warped, then it's our job to straighten it out, right, Professor?
Yeah.
work for them.
That's
No,
straight, an
wait.
organization that's been twisted from the inside out. It's that easy.
I don't work for them, that's their own business.
I'm pretty sure there was a plotline in Darkwing Duck that involved something like that.
Let's get dangerous.
Moving.
Actually, it's dangerous.
Yeah, sure.
Indeed. Let's head deeper into their base.
Whoa.
I suggest we head down the street that Macintosh appears to be coming from.
By the way, still waiting for that Darkwing Duck remake, Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Did they announce one?
No.
Well, okay. Basically, Shiroi, due to some details from the DuckTales remake or
Reboot.
there pretty much is heavy speculation, especially given, you know, the way a cliffhanger-ish ending goes in one of the episodes that
Go ahead.
we're supposed to get a new Darkwing Duck show.
Goes.
Sick. Aha! It's Hitman! Stop right there! Here's your leader, bro. Who's playing the... Do you think you can fool me with your mild look and fancy words?
Ooh, he called you mild, Professor.
Here, let's see if you can outwit this puzzle.
Again, do you guys just forget about guns?
I think by mild he meant like mild-mannered.
I'm pretty sure.
Mutiny do.
Go ahead.
Those pesky pirates are back once again. Move the pieces around the board according to the rules below and turn all the pirates into sailors. Sailors and pirates can only move by leaping over places adjacent to them. Multiple sailors and pirates can be left over in one movement. Pirates are left over will turn into sailors, and sailors that are left over will turn into pirates.
Well, there you go then.
I'm pretty sure, Joe, it's more of a case of, Targent knows that these two screw up, so they don't want to actually giving them firearms.
For every minute you don't solve the puzzle, I'll shoot the other professor in one of his limbs.
That might have been the case, but remember, Teal, Layton made a big spiel about how Rook doesn't have a gun, now, okay. Bishop, sure, yeah, I can totally get that. But with Rook, not as much.
Alright.
You better hurry, Pedro. You've only got 55 seconds to solve the puzzle, or else Professor what's his name will get shot in the knee.
Sycamore.
Sycamore will get shot in the knee.
Wait, what?
Oh, no.
Alright, so unlike the previous one where we only had 5 pieces, now we have a lot more, so obviously...
It's a bit deceptive because it makes you think it can just solve it with 4 moves, but no, because it still leaves 1 piece
Yep.
as a pirate.
So it's one of those deceptively complicated puzzles.
It'd be funny if you actually can do it in 4 moves, but they have to be very precise
No,
ones.
now actually you can go through because you can use the sailor on the top right corner. There you go.
There you go.
10 seconds.
It's a bit of reworking a bit one of the sides before moving.
There we are.
There you go.
That should do it.
Oh, god damn it! You had 2 seconds left.
I think I'm in the mood for another.
No, you are not.
Yo ho ho. That should get rid of the high
That should
seas.
rid the high seas of the scourge of piracy.
It's that easy.
Alright.
This is bad. This is very bad. You weren't supposed to solve that. But we did. Now, will you kindly let us pass?
Please.
Yeah, we did. God, that's it. You lot are gonna get what you deserve. Right, Rook?
No. Oh, the headquarters are in that tall building right ahead. Find the boss office on the top floor.
Professor, did you give Rick an existential crisis?
Yeah, you can't miss it. Just go all the way up. What?
Don't lose it, Bishop. Listen, we've been all around the world in the last few months and I finally had it.
Oh, so our venture has been going on for months.
Oh, go ahead. I like this
Isn't
one.
what I signed up for. I'm happy to go around running errands for the boss, but when it comes to killing people, I'm out.
His
remember,
line is literally, I'm not paid enough for this shit.
Farewell, Targent. I quit, so I have no objection to you. So you did not. This is like Bob, Agent of Hydra.
Remember,
you basically joined the totalitarian regime.
well, remember,
without
Tail.
knowing it.
Remember what he said,
Hang
Tail.
on a second. You're quitting? Leaving Targent?
Yes, Pedro.
No, go ahead.
You heard me, Bishop. I'm out. I'm sick of being treated like a pawn.
What are you talking about, you nitwit? You can't leave. We're partners.
You like the Jesse to
Oh,
his
go ahead.
You
James.
think I'm just gonna stand here and wave you off? Fat chance. If you're leaving, then I'm leaving too.
Aww. He can't stand to lose his best friend.
Hey, does this mean we can stay on the Zeppelin? I've always wanted to fly that thing.
Acting like that will be very unlikely.
Go ahead.
Wait, we're not finished discussing this. Bishop! Fuck's sake.
Now remember, Teo. We already established that a lot of people at Targent probably don't like what Burn have turned into. So it's very likely that Rook dates all the way back to before they were killing people, and he's gotten to a point where he's just like, you know what, the Targent I knew is no longer here. I refuse to
I
be.
guess.
Before you go, the archaeologist that we were trying to help earlier, Macintosh, is in our airship. He has received some treatment for his wound, but he will still need to be seen by a doctor. A real doctor. If you're planning to escape, could you please take him with you?
And then it turns out that they were lying about
The least I can do,
quitting.
sir. Perhaps we'll see you again when it's all over.
Man, how cool a twist would it have been if it turned out that Rook is actually just playing 60 chess and he was actually lying about retiring?
Now then, Targent's headquarters are at the tall building.
A new episode has been added to the trunk. Feathered Friends, which is my personal favorite of the episodes.
Let me guess, is that about Rook and Bishop?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that definitely points to their names were supposed to be more birdish, like in the American.
This hapless duo have traveled the world doing their boss's bidding, but are they finally ready to strike out on their own?
Can you check in the meantime, Joe, how they're called in my country's version, just to, you know?
Sure.
There's the egg! No, there's the egg! There's everywhere!
Calm down, Bishop. We need to focus and make sure we find that real egg.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Feathered Friends sitcom starring Rook and Bishop.
Well, I'm ready for anything. We'll find that egg, even if it means wrestling a lion.
Be careful what you wish for. I heard there's a vicious beast in these parts.
Okay, I've not found an Italian version of their names. The closest thing I found was a Spanish version.
No,
What are we
it's
doing
just not
hanging out here then?
reported.
Waiting for it to pounce on us from behind? Let's take the initiative.
It's been a while, admittedly, since I played the game, so I forgot.
Well, like I said,
Go ahead.
You
technically,
Bishop, wait!
Well, Teo, you can always just boot up your 3DS and just watch this episode again. It should tell you.
I think I deleted
I
my
reckon if we
save file.
find this phoenix, we can get it to lay an egg. How hard can it be?
remember, technically, even with these chess piece names, they
That's a
technically
very
have
great
names.
idea if I ever heard one. Still, we must be in the right place. These are Azran ruins.
True.
We'll never have a better chance to get our hands on an egg.
You're also about to get your answer regarding Rook and Bishop being absent from Hoogland, Jova. Turns out they were there at a different time than we were.
I feel like we may have figured that out already.
So you
No,
think the
I
boss
agree with
is,
Christian.
you know, keeping an eye on us, Rook?
Unlikely. I doubt he really cares about what his henchmen are up to.
Huh. It's funny, because there's literally another henchman here.
Then we've got to make him care. We'll work harder than ever until he notices us.
We'll work hard
Well,
until
they-
Boss Senpai notices us. Go on.
Perhaps this time you'll take a leaf out of your book for a change.
You know, I wonder if, like, well, the order that we're seeing these worlds in, like, this is supposed to be the canon order of which you're going to
Go
these
ahead.
lands.
There you go. And,
there we go.
Ah, you know how I like my eggs, Rook. In Targent's possession. That's how.
I'm amazed you can remain so enthusiastic after all our failures.
Wait, did they actually get the
yeah.
actual egg here? It
You'll
turns
see.
out this
Oh,
is
I know
really
this
not the
bit.
fake egg?
I know
Oh, my mom always said that a positive attitude was the key to success.
I really like this conversation here.
Do your best, and the rest will follow. That's my motto.
Oh my god, they actually got an egg.
You may jump to conclusions a little too often, but you're a good man, Bishop. If only I had a can-do attitude like yours.
Aww.
No reason you shouldn't have one, Rook. You're the brains of the operation. You get more done than anyone.
Now here's the great line. Go ahead.
Well, I suppose it's because I got a partner who believes in me.
I genuinely love these two.
away from
There
your
we are.
computer shippers.
Why not?
Well,
I mean,
looks like it's time to fly the coop in search of a better life. Got anything in mind, Rook?
So, okay.
Actually, I do. I'm thinking we might be better off on the straight and narrow. Do some good for a change.
And then they were arrested for their crimes.
go ahead.
What? No more criminal misdeeds? No more making a mockery of ourselves? How will we survive?
Well, manager, so tell me, what would you say to a new career at Scotland Yard?
Wow, the irony.
I mean, I wouldn't think of something else, but sure. I know it sounds crazy, but it's got to be better than a kick in the teeth for being a retired henchman.
Well, as Austin Powers has shown, the package isn't
Whoa.
the best for henchmen.
Count me in. I think it's about time to show the boss that he's not the boss of us. So we're off to London, are we? Stay right there. I'll get the engine started up.
Hold on, what about packing all the... Oh well, some things never change.
Notice his smile. Like at this point, he's so used to this that he just, you know.
So if I understand correctly, they actually got the real egg in Huguen, and that's where we ended up getting the fake one.
There's actually a different explanation for that, but we'll get to it. But yeah, again, I have to give like again, he did a good job with these two characters. I mean, they're just comic relief characters, but they're genuinely charming, and I do like the payoff for their story. Really good. And we're going to also see them later during the end credits. In one of the screenshots. So again, Rook and Bishop are actually two of my personal favorite Layton characters. They're very funny and very charming to me. Alright.
Alright then, on
See-
to the next
Yeah.
part.
See ya.